Hi, everyone. It's Tamara Durbin with Money Basics. And this is I guess, a kind of a surprise Finance Fridays. I didn't pre announce it, but it is the first Friday of July. I hope that you enjoyed your July 4th holiday. And some of you guys, I know you're still on vacation celebrating this holiday weekend. So I wanted to come on for this, I guess, episode or portion session of Finance Fridays and actually do a quick chat. I'm going to make this quick, but this is a good point. It's the mid-year. We've completed 6 months of this year, thank God. And I wanted to do a check-in to see how you are doing financially, and also to give you a kind of a point in your financial journey this year to stop and actually check in with yourself to see how you're doing. Anytime you create a plan, you need to check in to see how your plan is working. So this is a great point within the year to stop and take a step back and say, let me see how I'm doing financially this year. So I want to do a quick check-in with you guys to see how you're doing. So the first thing that I recommend that you check in with is your financial goals. How are you doing with the financial goals that you set at the beginning of the year? Have you started to execute your plan for those financial goals? Did you even set financial goals? And I would encourage you, if you haven't set financial goals yet for this year, it's not too late. Okay, you can do it today. You can say, okay, I want to create some financial goals that I would like to meet by the end of the year. You still have 6 months. It's not too late. The other thing you can do is still start on your longer term financial goals. If you go back to some of my other scopes, not scopes, but chats, you'll see some things that I talked about goal setting. So go back and check those out, those other Finance Fridays. So you're not too late with starting. Check in to see how you're doing. Have you started executing the plan for reaching your financial goals? This is also a good time to check in to see how you're doing financially, to say, do my financial goals need to be adjusted? Things happen. We've completed 6 months of the year. Something may have happened financially, whether it's positive or negative, where you need to adjust your financial goals. This is a prime time to check in to see, do I need to adjust my financial goals? There may be some new goals that you need to add for this year based on events happening in your life. So do your goals need to be adjusted? And then I also encourage you, whether you are trying to accomplish the financial goals you've already set, if you haven't set financial goals, or even if your goals need to be adjusted, one of the key things that you may want to do, and sometimes we feel overwhelmed because we have so many things that we need to do financially, is to really hone in to figure out what are the main things that I need to focus on financially to finish this last 6 months of the year strong. So focus. Pick two financial goals, two of your short-term financial goals. You say, okay, you know what? I want to focus in on these two goals and get those done. The power of focus causes your plans to work. When you hone in, shorten the list, you're not saying that you're not going to do the other things, but maybe the list needs to be shortened for the time period within that you want to accomplish the goals. Okay? So possibly shorten your list so that you can finish strong this last 6 months of the year. Okay. The next thing I want you to check in with is your budget. We talked about in the previous chats the power of creating a budget, and how your budget is your plan, it's your roadmap to accomplishing your goals month in and month out. So now you've created a budget. You've had 6 months to execute and use that budget. How is that budget working out for you? Has it helped you accomplish your goals? Has it been over constricting where you still haven't had enough. Does your budget need to be adjusted? Do you still need to fine tune it? Now is a great time to check in to say, how is your budget working? Is it helping you to reach and accomplish your financial goals? The next thing is, how are you doing with tracking your expenses? We talked about in previous chats how one of the biggest budget busters are our expenses that we don't track, that we really don't know how much we are spending in various areas that can cause our budgets to go out of whack. So have you been tracking your spending? And we've talked about various tools that you can use, whether it's manual tools or electronics tools like apps that can help you track your budget. And if you're using some of those apps like Mint, or Every Dollar, you can actually pull your report to see how you've done with meeting your budget every month in your various expense categories. So this is a good time to check in with those apps, with those tools, to see how you've been doing with staying within your budgets and tracking your spending. So check in to see how you're doing. And at this time, you may say, okay, you know what? I've been doing pretty good. And you should give yourself a pat on the back. But you may say, oh, I'm out of whack. So you say, okay, I really need to tighten up my expenses, okay? The next thing that you should check in with is how you're doing with saving. We've done some chats about saving, also with getting hooked into and opening accounts where you can earn more money on your savings. So have you taken advantage of the financial products that are out there that can help your money make more when it's in a savings account? So how are you doing with that? How are you doing with your investments? Whether it's your 401k, if you're saving for your kids' college through 529s, or if you have just a regular brokerage account, how are your investments doing? Check in to see if there needs to be any adjustments. Now, of course, the market does have volatility, so you can be a patient investor to ride the waves, but you should always do a check-in to make sure everything is okay. All right. And also make sure that you're trying to maximize your money and really maximize how you generate wealth for yourself and making your money work for you, okay, while it's sitting there in an account, is in the savings account for your emergency savings or other savings. And then also, how are your investments doing? So do a check-in. Are you maximizing saving the most that you can? You checked in and looked at your budget to see how you're doing. And now that you check in your budget, you may say, hey, I have some extra room where I can save more, or I can invest a little bit more. Hey, Judith. So do a check-in to say, okay, maybe I can be even a little bit more aggressive with the funds that I have to actually put more money to trying to reach and accomplish your financial goals. So do a check-in to see how you are doing, okay? The next check-in I want you to do is with debt, okay? Have you stopped accumulating new consumer debt, new credit card debt? Have you started trying to pay cash as much as you can for things and not accumulating credit card debt, okay? Have you broken up with debt yet? Okay, so do that check-in to see how you're doing with credit card debt. All right, and for those of you that may be getting rid of your debt this year, see how you're doing. Are you fast tracking that? Have you found some additional money to get rid of that credit card debt? Check in to see, okay, because maybe like I just said with saving, if one of your goals was to get rid of some debt, maybe you've created room. If you've tightened up your expenses, you've created more excess cash and resources that maybe even within your plan that you've already written down to get rid of your debt, you may have a little additional resources to pay down that debt even sooner. So check in with that. The other thing that I recommended this year that you check in on is your financial name. And your financial name is your credit. So have you already done, which I kind of recommended at the beginning of the year, have you pulled your credit report to check in to see What is on your credit report? Make sure that no one else is using your financial name, which is your credit, okay? So pull your credit report. It's annualcreditreport.com. It's free. It's required by the federal government for all three bureaus to give you a copy of your report. Make sure no one has stolen your identity, okay? So check in with your financial name. Next thing, the holidays. It's July. It's July. We're July every year. Thanksgiving, Christmas comes at the same time every year. If you are a person that likes to give gifts, have you started saving for the holidays? We talked about this in some of our previous chats about holiday savings. If you have not started saving, start saving now. Remember, we're trying not to accumulate debt. You don't want to accumulate debt for Christmas. So I'm reminding you now to save for Christmas. You know who you typically buy gifts for. It's not a surprise. So let's be proactive and create that savings account, for those holiday gifts, holiday parties, holiday meals. Make sure you have a savings basically for those, because those are not unforeseen, but those are out of the norm expenses during November and December. And you don't want to blow your budget on things that you already know are coming, okay? The next thing that I want you to check in with, and some of you have actually talked to you about this, you asked me questions on the side about taxes. So we've heard all about this last year, that the tax laws have changed, okay? So this is a great time, if you did not do it during this tax season, to check in with your tax preparer or advisor and check in to see if you need to adjust your tax withholding. So this is a great time to do an assessment of your tax withholdings to make sure that you are withholding enough for your taxes next year, because we don't want to get a huge surprise when it's time to do your taxes. I know some people are used to getting a certain amount as far as refunds, but my thing is I just want to make sure that you don't owe. Okay, I just want to make sure that you don't owe when we come around to do your 2018 taxes, because the tax laws have changed and it will affect a lot of us. So check in with your tax preparer, because they are familiar with each individual's tax structure, tax situation, so they can give you an educated recommendation on how you should adjust your tax withholding. So check in with your tax preparer if you did not do it during tax season. I know some tax preparers are very good at educating their clients about the new tax laws and things that they need to look out for and how they needed to proceed with their withholdings for this year. So check in, okay? The last thing I want to say is, it's been great doing these Finance Fridays, so I want to give you guys information that is useful for you. So in the comments right below, I want you guys to tell me what will be helpful for you, what topics would be helpful for you to help you finish 2018 stronger financially. What topics would be great to chat about, or for me to provide more additional education about, that will help you to reach your financial goals. The next thing is, I'm here to help. If you need help with setting financial goals, creating a budget, looking at a plan to help you reach your financial goals, I can help. So reach out to me, whether it's via Facebook, into my message box, email, my website, Tamara at Add Money is Basic on Facebook, Add Money is Basic on Instagram. My email address is tamara@moneybasicsonline.com. My website is moneybasicsonline.com, and you can send me a message if you would like for me to help you, okay? So I hope this little quick check-in was good for you, and I hope that you will take the time. It won't take long. It probably won't take you more than an hour, or so, give or take, or how many things that you decided to do this year, but do a check-in. The only way for you to really reach your financial goals is to really plan it out and really track your progress. You have to track your progress and check in to see how you're doing every step of the way. That helps you reach your financial goals. It's not going to just magically boop happen. It's not going to do this. That's not going to happen. It takes a little bit of work, but there are a lot of tools out there, a lot of resources to help you do it, and you can do it. Okay. So I ask you guys to share this, repost it, share, repost. And if you haven't liked my page yet, I ask you please like my page and please share it with your friends and family, as it is Money is Basic. Also follow me on Instagram. Money is Basic. All of my social media hashtags are Money is Basic. So have a great weekend. And party safely if you're partying this weekend. Hey, Judith, happy Friday. Like I said, put in those comments, put in topics that you guys would like to see for the next Finance Fridays, and I will talk and chat with you soon. Bye-bye.